Margaret. Item number 3 in the name of Deputy Joan Burton, the difficulty in the Dublin 15 area in accessing local primary places. Deputy, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. I'm calling on the Minister for Education to immediately convene a roundtable forum of parents, patrons, principals and other stakeholders in education in Dublin 15 to create a fair and just enrolment system. This is the time of the year when schools throughout Dublin 15 enrol children. Once again, confusion reigns amongst parents in the Diswellstown, Little Pace, Clonsilla, Tyrrellstown and other developing areas of Blanchardstown and Castleknock as to whether or not their children will get one of the few coveted places in their local primary school next September. Every year for the past 7 or 8 years, it's been Groundhog Day with the recurring school place crisis in Dublin 15. Last year, in the run-up to the election, the Minister for Education made a lot of promises about resolving the situation. The then Minister for Children and now Minister for Justice had his department fund a groundbreaking report on education and the demand for school places in the Dublin 15 area. That report was launched to a great fanfare by the Minister for Justice and proposed in its 13 principal recommendations a round-table forum of all the stakeholders and indeed a green paper from the government to deal with the issue of planning for enrolments in areas such as Dublin 15 where there is an explosion in the school-going population and particularly among the new Irish communities. The Minister for Education just this week announced her intention to apply for planning permission for 3 new primary schools in Ongar, the Phoenix Park Racecourse and at Kellystown near Clonsilla, but no consultation. It is not clear how children will be enrolled for these schools. It may be that, as in the case of Schullcullen, established at the last minute last year under the patronage of the Archbishop of Dublin, these schools will be primarily for children who have failed to get in to the existing schools in the area. Therefore, as in the case of Schullcullen and the Educate Together school in Balbriggan, they may end up being the schools for those children left out. Do we really want to develop ghettoised schools where the children are almost all from a non-Irish background? No matter how fantastic the work of the parents and teachers in schools such as Schullcullen and Balbriggan Educate Together, which I admire hugely, it is not a desirable development in the long run to have segregated schooling. In true Department of Education fashion, the Minister and her officials seem determined to repeat the mistakes of earlier years and indeed of other educational situations like the debate on autism last night and plunge blindly ahead regardless of the best interests of children and parents. It's time to consult a Minister and to develop a fair and coherent system of school enrolment that facilitates children to attend their local schools. I've proposed before a national convention on education to address the very delicate question of ethos and religion in respect of education. But as it is at the moment, the primary problem in Dublin West is the root cause remains the lack of coherent planning for places and the timely building of schools. Now the Minister is suddenly saying, and 3 more schools, but we can't tell you who's going to attend these schools, we can't tell you how they're going to be enrolled for. So, you know, we're just simply piling mistake on mistake on mistake, and the Minister has to come out and sit down with the stakeholders, receive an all-party delegation, as her predecessors of all parties used to do. She's basically in hiding on what is happening to education in Dublin 15, and Minister, she may be having money for the situation, but what she's not thinking about is the best interests of the development of the whole community, the traditional Irish community who've bought their houses, they're working, they're paying their PAYE. They want and expect a primary school for their child. But we also have to ensure that the new communities, and you know this yourself, Minister, it's not good that a child from a new community could end up never going to school with an Irish child. They could go through their whole of their primary education like that. They may go through their secondary education. We know from other countries that's not good. So, Minister, we could sort it out if the Minister is prepared to address the issue.
Thank you very much.